Good afternoon and welcome to Student Teaching Session A, EED480. My name is Professor Ashton and I will be working with you for at least the next 8 weeks, most likely the next 16 weeks if you're with me for Session B. What I'm going to do right now is take you through what your requirements are for week 1, as well as give you some tips to help you succeed in your student teaching experience in the classroom. Right now you're looking at the home page of our course. You'll notice in the course announcement section you have a written announcement here. Each week you're going to have a text version of an announcement as well as the video announcement like you're listening to right now. Please make sure to read the announcement as well as watch the video because there might be important pieces in one announcement that are not in the other, and this will help you to succeed both here in the online classroom as well as with your mentor teachers. If you noticed, as with all the classes during this first week, if you could please take a moment to participate in the Cyber Cafe. This way you can get to know the peers that you'll be working with. If you want to try and add a photograph when you are in the Cyber Cafe, I did post a video that shows you how to insert an image into your posting so we can see what you look like. Now, in your past courses at GCU, there were discussion forums. For this particular course, it is now called the Teacher's Lounge. The difference being the Teacher's Lounge is a little bit more informal. You don't have to make connections to any readings. Each of the Teacher's Lounge questions will be relevant to what is going on in your classroom experience, and the intention is so you can brainstorm with peers to see what they're doing and to help basically share best practices to make your student teaching experience even better. Each week in the Teacher's Lounge, you are required to post your initial substantive response. A good solid paragraph is best. I'd probably say about 5 sentences to really get your point across. And then the difference compared to past courses is you only are required to make one responsive posting. However, I strongly recommend making more because this is your opportunity to share practical applications and really putting forth all of the information you've learned throughout your experience at GCU. There are not any CLC group assignments, but you are of course welcome to make your own little subgroups and have peers to work with for assistance with your weekly assignments. As far as your assignments for week 1, you are going to be doing TWS 1. This can be located in the classroom section of our course under Canyon Connect additional resources. If you have difficulty downloading them, please let me know and I can send you the file. For week 1, basically you are going to be examining the demographics of the school where you are going to be working at. I have here a copy of the TWS template that I downloaded from the classroom. And this is what TWS 1 looks like. Please do your best to fill out all of these areas. You will either need to look on your school district website, talk to your teacher, or even see if it's possible to interview the principal or another administrative source that will have the answers you cannot locate online. One important part I want to point out here is after filling in this information, do not forget this part right here that says instructional implications, and basically you're going to describe in your own words how the demographics of the school would ultimately impact, as it says here, the planning and delivery and assessment of your unit, which will be done later on in the course. I also have up for you the rubric as to how this will be evaluated. Please make sure to read through the MET category for each of the factors to ensure that you will receive the most possible points, and if you notice, the instructional implications section is a section of its own on the rubric. And of course, spelling and grammar. So even though you're using a template, you can still go to Tools, Spelling and Grammar Check within Microsoft Word. Okay, what I want to point out to you now is to take a look at all of the TWSs you'll be doing throughout the course. You want to start discussing these with your mentor teacher. Your site supervisor will have additional information for you. However, since I know the site supervisor role as well as professor role, I always recommend to my interns to not do anything different curriculum-wise from what your mentor is already doing, because you want the students to stay in their typical structure and you don't want to cause any confusion. As far as the pre-assessment and post-assessment you will be doing, math is a good subject area to do. You can easily get data from doing that, because throughout this course you're going to be looking at whole group data, subgroup, and then breaking it down further to one individual student. As far as the lesson plans you'll be creating for this course, it's a good idea to create the lessons based upon your pre-assessment data, because in turn this will help to make your post-assessment data show that your students have made learning gains. Now, where you see the site visits here, these are where your site supervisor is going to evaluate your performance in the classroom. Your responsibilities for week 4 and week 7 are to upload a copy of your site visit into the assignment Dropbox. Once your site supervisor has entered your scores into TaskStream, you can then go into TaskStream and either save a PDF file of your evaluation, or you're also welcome to take a screenshot of your total score. I won't be able to go into TaskStream to pull your scores until after week 6, when you've added me on to evaluate your ePortfolio assignment. That is pretty much a summation of what is going to be going on for the course. Just so you know too, please save the TWS template, because you will be also using the TWS template for session B during your second 8 weeks. The intention behind this is that this session you'll be practicing, and then you'll be able to practice along with your mentor, and then the second time around you'll be much more comfortable with understanding how to create goals, objectives, and all that type of stuff that a typical teacher does on a daily basis. If you have any questions in regards to curriculum, please go ahead and post your questions in the Questions for Instructor tab of the course, located here in the center of the screen. If you have any questions of a personal nature, please make sure to email those. And as I said, each week I'm going to be posting text announcements and video announcements to help you out to make this a smoother experience, and any additional resources that I feel might help you out in the classroom, I might be posting those in the individual teachers lounge for you to discuss throughout the course. I also have a website that I have designed to assist teachers. It's www.ashtoncreations.com. And if you go to teacher resources, there's a lot of things you can utilize. This is a work in progress, so I'm continually adding things. I also have a blog where once a week I'll post some great resources, free resources that I find to help you out. But most importantly, I want to point out here, this is something I put together for the students that I go and observe. And it's basically 12 tips for when you're being observed or evaluated. I pulled these 12 tips based upon the rubrics that are used to evaluate you for your site visits. So I strongly recommend taking some time to read through these and getting them embedded in the back of your mind for when you are working in the classroom and delivering lessons. So that concludes our first video announcement for the week. I hope this has helped to make you feel a little bit better. Keep smiling. You are so near the end of your adventure, and I look forward to making this a great learning experience for you. Have a great day.